Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to take care of our level 50 mining quest with Canyon of Regret. Last time we did this, we learned that our friend here at the guild, oh god, I don't see him here. He's left, so I've forgotten his name, which is unfortunate because like what the heck? I should remember his name. I want to say it's Wide Gulley, but that might not be the right name. I'm stupid. I'm so bad with names. Anyways, we learned that our friend here who we've been competing with, his dad's been manipulating shit to make it look like he's more successful than he is, so lovely. Let's see if we can help with this situation. Adalberta is gravely concerned for the fate of an old friend. Satora, thank the gods you're here. It's Wide Gulley. He's gone and filed a complaint against his father to the concern, citing an abuse of power. Yes! I'm so proud of you, Wide Gulley. I'm so proud of you. I know that's hard to do, but good job. It has forced Deep Canyon into a difficult position, to say the least. And though the two of us haven't exactly seen eye to eye of late, I still owe the man a great debt. I would go to him and offer what aid I could, but he's like to spurn even the attempt. I know full well how much I've already asked of you, but I would be eternally grateful if you'd lend Deep Canyon aid in my stead. To get started, it might be best to see what possessed his son to inform on his own flesh and blood. Adalberta? I'm gonna say it right now. I already know more about the situation than you, and I already support Wide Gulley in this endeavor. Hey, Wide Gulley. Here at the Guildmaster's bidding again? Well, I see no reason not to tell you about the situation. You know most everything any road. My old man was foisting dangerous jobs on the guild, forcing its members to risk life and limb for his own agenda. If that ain't the very definition of abuse, I don't know what is. You yourself were on the receiving end of this, I'm sure you'll recall. Kin or no, I couldn't stand by and watch my guildmates being used like pawns in his game. So I went to the concern's upper management and filed a complaint. He hasn't said a word to me since, but I'd have a guess that he might be willing to speak with you. You've certainly done your fair share for the guild. He's out by the entrance right now in case you want to hear his side of the story. Okay, so you're not informing on him for the way he's been manipulating records, but you did find a way to get back at him for it. Still, this is good either way, informing on him for this shit. It's been some time, Satora. You're doubtless here as regards my son's accusations. Well, it's just as he claims. Now, this ain't gonna spare me what's coming, but I had a reason for my actions. Vengeance. I was supposed to be the master of the Miners Guild. Everyone knew I had the best claim, but Adalberta robbed me of the honor. Me, the man who taught her nigh everything she knows about her trade. She went behind my back and conspired with her predecessor, and then Fancy, who ended up being chosen to lead. By way of payback, ever since I became vice foreman, I've striven to make Adalberta's life harder than trying to mine with a dull pickaxe. All those outrageous demands to make her look incompetent. At the same time, I went about ensuring my son was well placed to take over as guildmaster. And my plan was about to bear fruit too, till you came along and ruined it all by being my son's better. Heh, by your expression, I take it you're doubtful of the tale. Well, you need only ask your dear guildmaster. She can vouch for everything I said. Damn, you just spilled it all. Oh, God. Adalberta, you're not going to be happy to hear what he is claiming about you. Or about what he's doing. Oh, no. Oh, you are really out of the loop. What? Deep Canyon believes I cheated him out of becoming guildmaster? That's not it at all. I never aspired to this position. God, I was only an Alamegan refugee, working as hard as I could to get by. I never even dreamed that I could rise as I did. And I suspected even less that it was the self-same dedication to my work that would lead me to being chosen. If I had known that accepting the mantle would tear us apart, lamenting the past won't avail us. I only know that I wouldn't be where I am without the man. I can't allow this misunderstanding to cost Deep Canyon everything. Adalberta, do you think maybe you're letting your appreciation for what he's done for you in the past cloud your judgment a little bit, given he has done some pretty reprehensible things? I simply couldn't bear it. I'm not sure there's all we can still do for him at this point, but we must try. Listen, Wide Gulley is the one who filed the complaint. If you were to throw your own weight behind some of my concerns, then maybe he could yet do something. Please, Satori, it would mean so much. Okay. Wide Gulley, what do you think about this? Adalberta wants to help my old man. Truth be told, it ain't my wish to see his career destroyed neither. I only wanted to teach him a lesson, make him know that he can't just use people for his ends. But now that the concern knows, it's been taken out of my hands. In their eyes, my father's actions jeopardized the relations with the Miners Guild, and nothing could be worse. So they've given him a test. If he's to remain vice foreman, he must prove at the inquest that he still has the confidence of the guild. And they ain't interested in no words. They want hard evidence. That is to say, they're demanding that someone from the guild show him loyalty by going and digging up 3 of the toughest damn chunks of ore there is to find. Dark steel. Problem is, he's got no allies in the guild on account of his own behavior. I certainly don't qualify for the task being his son, and Adalberta can't do it neither because she's a bleeding guildmaster. That's just how it works. This leaves you, Satora. Now we don't have much time before the inquest begins, so you'll have to hurry. And I wasn't exaggerating before. Darksteel's elusive as all hell's located in the snowy reaches of Kurthus and nowhere else. To actually find the stuff, you'll first need to use your Truth of Mountains technique to locate unspoiled mineral deposits. Then, and gods know why, you'll have to survive a night in the cold for the deposits to reveal themselves. Finally, you dig, and you pray. When you have enough chunks of the dark steel ore, take them to Adalberta. I'll make sure she knows what's going on. Alright, 1 a.m. is when the dark steel ore is going to appear. We still have a little bit of time before that. We can actually make that in time. Excellent. I'm going to meet you over at Kurthus then. Alright, we talked about unspoiled nodes in the botany episode, but I'll go over them again in case you didn't watch that. Unspoiled nodes are going to be the post-game gathering for and how they're basically going to work is that there are certain nodes, which are called unspoiled nodes, unspoiled gathering spots, where they only appear at very specific times of day and only if you have Truth of Mountains or Truth of Forest for botanists activated. If those conditions are met, if all the conditions are met, then at the proper time, the mining spot or the gathering spot will appear, and we'll be able to gather items from it. Once we are gathering items from that spot, we will only be able to gather once, and then we have to wait 70 minutes, 1 in-game day, in order to have that spot appear again. So we need to make the most of the spot every time it spawns, or we're going to be waiting a while. It is a very good idea to very specifically optimize your use of your Gatherer Points abilities, especially things like King's Yield or Solid Reason, to make sure you have your best chance of getting the maximum number of items out of the spot. Because otherwise you're going to be waiting 70 minutes for another attempt. There might eventually be additional conditions on these unspoiled nodes. So far in my own personal file, on my main file, I've only gone up to like mid-range Heavensward gathering, where it's still unspoiled nodes are just on a timer, so they'll appear at certain times of day. But who knows? Maybe they'll eventually add things like weather requirements or stuff like that. It's certainly possible. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of helping Deep Canyon, if I'm being honest. I honestly think that Wide Gulley and Adalberta have compromised reasoning in this regards. Wide Gulley doesn't want to destroy his father, merely get him to knock it off, and Adalberta respects Deep Canyon so much because he helped her so much. And I think that both of them have valid reasons for not wanting to see his career destroyed, but he at the very least should not be in a position of power. He has abused his power, and he cannot be allowed to have access to that power again. Like, if he's going to be, like, maybe don't destroy his career, I can agree with that, but, like, he cannot be in a position of power anymore. Alright, the mining spot appeared. It's going to be just southeast of Camp Dragonhead, and let's see, I think our best bet's going to be using King's Yield. And we're going to be going for dark steel ore. We need 3. We're going to get as much as we can. Also, another thing worth noting is that when you're at these unspoiled nodes, typically anything they drop is going to drop with a base count of 3. Like, you're going to get 3 per mining or 3 per botany at the very minimum per round. So you're going to get a lot. You're going to get a lot of these items, which is good because you're going to need a lot, and you can only mine from them or use botany on them once every 70 minutes. In this case, we were able to get a good 31, so that'll be 28 for us, and that's still nowhere near what we need. We need, like, when we get to the post-game crafting, we're going to need, like, nearly 300, actually probably well over 300 dark steel ore. I'm going to be doing a lot of grinding. It's going to be fun. Alright then, now that we have that at least though, let's head back to Adalberta. Alright, Adalberta, I return with the dark steel ore. I assume a Wide Gulley has informed you of what's going on. Wide Gulley's told me all about the situation. Be sure you bring in the dark steel ore as soon as you got it. Now, I feel this bears mentioning, but regarding how to go about obtaining the ore, it may sound ridiculous, but it's exactly as Wide Gulley says. You'll need the endurance to survive a night in Kurthus and the technique Truth of Mountains to locate unspoiled mineral deposits. 12 speed your way. Don't worry, I got plenty. And then some. Incredible, Satora, your talents are truly boundless. Hopefully these will suffice to spare Deep Canyon, but let's make haste of the inquest. White Gulley is already on his way. Well, did you get a guild member to bring you Dark Seal ore? Cause make no mistake, Deep Canyon, if you came to this inquest empty-handed, we will end you. Your time with the concern will be just a memory. Well... We have the ore right here procured by Satora Lancy of the Miners Guild. "12 be good, she isn't lying. This is Dark Seal and some of the finest I've ever seen." It's no ordinary miner who can find Dark Seal, let alone stuff that looks this good. Seems your reputation is well earned. So that said, we're hardly here to question your ability. Though I find myself wondering as to your motives, why did you bring the ore? I'd know the same. Why stick your neck out for him? He's giving you nothing but trouble. What in the seven hells are you trying to pull out, Alberta? I don't need anyone's pity, yours least of all. I'm not here to give you my pity, but to clear up the misunderstanding between us. Misunderstanding? Listen to me, Deep Canyon. I never wanted to become guild master. The responsibility was thrust upon me and there was naught to be done for it. God, when my name was being bandied about for the position, my first instinct was to take myself out of consideration. I spoke to the guildmaster in private, as you say, but it wasn't to connive against you. It was to give up my claim. You expect me to believe that? If I had truly betrayed you back then, would I have bothered to come here? But if that's true, then everything I've done, by the 12 to have taken this so far. You didn't want to admit defeat, Father, and Alberta beat you out on her own merits. You knew this in your heart, but you refused to accept it. In your pride, you convinced yourself that she betrayed you, but by doing so, you only validated why you were passed over for guildmaster in the first place. Please, Father, let go of the past. Accept that you were beaten as I have with Satora, and let's start over. You have it in you to do so, Deep Canyon, to begin anew. I know of your love for mining more than anyone. If you'd be willing to try again, I promise you the guild's full cooperation. Full cooperation? Are you sure about this? I would leave the past where it belongs, in the past. The guild wants only to look forward and to continue working with the concern. Satora was the biggest victim in this whole affair, yet she is willing to give Deep Canyon another chance. She wouldn't have brought the Dark Seal ore otherwise. That's all well and good, but what about you? Can you really forget everything he's done? I can. Above all else, I miss my old friend and mentor. To get him back, I would forgive much and more. Adalberta. Well, I'm inclined to lay this matter to rest. Any objections, Sese? If you're satisfied, brother, then so am I. Then it is settled. Vice Foreman Deep Canyon, by request of the Miners Guild, you shall retain your present office at Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern. Through hard work, I trust you will make amends for past transgressions. I'm full glad that it's over. Satora, I would have a word with you in private. Would you mind returning to the guild with me? Genuinely disappointed he's keeping his position. I would have loved to see a demotion at least, but at least the misunderstanding's been cleared up, and hopefully that means he won't have motive to do shit like this again. And hopefully at the very least he'll keep an eye on him. I asked you here so that I might thank you properly. Had you not been on hand to help, Deep Canyon's career would have ended prematurely and in disgrace. Worse, I might have lost my dear friend forever. I owe you a debt that I'll likely never be able to repay. Ah, but look at you. In no time at all, you've grown into a miner who can make the earth yield up even dark steel or the rarest of metals. There's nothing left for me to teach you. As an adventurer, you're like to find yourself in all corners of the realm, but wherever your road takes you, I want you to practice our craft for the good of all. Go well, Sator, and may your toils never go unrewarded. Thank you. I am glad that it all ended up relatively well at the very least. Alright, we've got a special set of miner's gear. We're going to be crafting our own eventually, so we're going to skip over that. Especially since when we craft it, we can craft high quality versions. Alright. For the next for the next minor quest, we need to complete the main story quest before the dawn, which is the final quest before Heavensward. We need to get to Heavensward before we can take on the next set of quests for minor. Alright then. With that, we were able to pick up a new relic tool, our first relic tool for minor, which we're going to go ahead and equip. I'll be getting into relic tools eventually, but for now, I'm thinking next time on Final Fantasy XIV, let's do some level 50 blacksmithing. I'll see everyone next time for that.